Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear this. Every single morning is a divine invitation. The moment your eyes open, heaven has already written a page with your name on it. But here's the question. What do you say to yourself when you rise? Do you complain or do you proclaim? Life bends not to what you feel, but to what you declare. So when you wake up, smile and say with boldness, T-Ice is my day of God's favor. All of creation begins to align with your confession. Wake up to God's favor. Today is your day of breakthrough. That's not just a phrase. It's not just a motivational line. It's a kingdom truth. When you open your eyes in the morning, the first breath you take is evidence that heaven still has business with you. You are not alive by accident. You are alive by assignment. And because you are alive, favor is available to you. The day is not ordinary. The morning is not common. This very moment is loaded with potential you cannot afford to waste. Think about it. Why do so many people wake up defeated, already tired, already carrying yesterday's failures into today? Because they never stop to recognize the favor that's wrapped up in a brand new sunrise. Favor means you are chosen. Favor means doors that were shut can suddenly swing open. Favor means what others strive for can be handed to you in due season. But here's the key. You must acknowledge it. You must declare it. You must own it with your words. The scripture says life and death are in the power of the tongue. That means every morning you stand at the threshold of two paths, one of defeat or one of breakthrough. And the difference lies in what you choose to confess. Do you wake up and say, another hard day, another struggle? Or do you rise with a smile and proclaim, this is my day of favor, this is my day of victory, this is my day of breakthrough? Listen carefully, because this is where many people miss it. Favor is not something you chase, it is something you recognize. It's already upon you. It's already working in ways you cannot see, but your confession activates it. Your declaration pulls it from the unseen into the seen. That is why every morning is so critical. The way you begin determines the way you will end. If you start in defeat, chances are you will end in defeat. But if you start with favor, even if storms come, you will rise above them. Now here's a secret. Favor is not always visible in the beginning. Sometimes it looks like rejection. Sometimes it feels like delay. Sometimes the very thing you prayed for seems far away. But favor hides in the unseen, waiting for the right moment to manifest. Your job is not to figure out how. It is to believe that today is the day. That's why you must keep speaking it. That's why you must keep smiling in the face of trials. Because when you declare favor, you set in motion divine activity that will shock you. So I ask you, what will you speak over your life today? What will you allow to shape your morning? Will you complain about yesterday? Or will you claim the breakthrough assigned to you now? Every single day is loaded, but only those who declare it can walk in it. And when you rise tomorrow, the question will remain, will you wake up, smile, and decree God's favor, or will you let the moment slip by? Because the next step is even greater. The power of a smile, unlocking heaven's blessing in your morning. Do you realize that something as simple as a smile can change the entire atmosphere of your day? A smile is not just an expression. It is a declaration. It is the face of faith. It is the silent announcement to the world, to your circumstances, and even to the enemy that you are expecting good things. When you smile in the morning, you are not denying reality. You are declaring victory. Think about this. Why do you think a smile is so disarming? Why do you feel lighter, stronger, more confident when you wear it? Because a smile reflects the condition of your spirit. And when your spirit is aligned with God's favor, your face will reveal it. A smile becomes the outward evidence of an inward conviction that no matter what yesterday looked like, today carries fresh mercy, fresh opportunities, and fresh blessings. You see, the enemy's goal is simple: to steal your joy before the day even begins, to weigh you down with anxiety, frustration, or the memory of failure. If he can take your joy, he can take your strength. That's why your smile is so powerful. It confuses the enemy. It tells him, you tried yesterday, but today I am still standing. Today I am still expecting favor. And the more you smile, the more you program your mind, your body, and even your environment to cooperate with heaven's agenda for your life. Never underestimate what happens when you wake up and choose to smile. Science tells us that smiling releases chemicals in your brain that reduce stress and elevate your mood. But beyond science, smiling is a spiritual signal. It's like raising a flag that says, I belong to the kingdom of light. I choose faith, not fear. And when you lift that flag, heaven responds. Doors begin to shift. People you meet are drawn to you. Situations bend in your favor. Why? Because favor flows where joy dwells. But let me ask you, when was the last time you smiled at the future? When was the last time you looked at challenges and smiled, not because they were easy, but because you knew who walks with you? The power of a smile is not in what you see, but in what you believe. It is the ability to look at an empty wallet and still smile because you know provision is coming. It is the courage to face a report from the doctor and still smile because you know healing is possible. It is the wisdom to wake up with tears in your eyes, yet smile because you trust that joy comes in the morning. So the next time you wake up, don't let worry write the first chapter of your day. Smile. Let your smile preach louder than your words. Let your smile remind you that favor is not a theory, it is your reality. And once you grasp that, then comes the power of your declaration. Declare your day, speaking favor into existence. Do you understand that the words you speak in the morning have the power to frame the reality you will live in by evening? Every day begins neutral, but your declaration determines its direction. Life does not respond to silence, it responds to sound. And the sound of your words is the most powerful force you carry. That is why when you wake up, you cannot remain quiet. You must declare, you must decree, you must command your day to align with God's favor. Think about it. How was the universe created? Not by thoughts, not by wishes, but by words. Let there be light, and there was light. If words can call the sun into existence, if words can separate oceans from dry land, then surely your words can separate defeat from victory. You don't wait for circumstances to tell you how your day will go. You tell your circumstances how they must obey. That is what it means to declare your day. Now, here's the tragedy. Many people rise in the morning and the first thing they declare is defeat. They say, I'm so tired. Today is going to be hard. Nothing ever works out for me. And without knowing it, they have already signed their own forecast. They have given authority to failure. But those who understand the principle of declaration know better. They rise and say, today is my day of favor. Today doors will open. Today I walk in victory. And the atmosphere begins to align itself with their confession. Your words are magnets. They pull into your life whatever you consistently declare. If you speak lack, lack comes closer. If you speak fear, fear grows stronger. But if you speak favor, favor begins to follow you. It's not magic, it's principle. The power of life and death is in the tongue. You are living today in the words you spoke yesterday, and tomorrow will be waiting in the words you speak today. That's why you must speak wisely. But let me challenge you. What do you say when pressure comes? What do you declare when the bills are unpaid, when the doctor's report is negative, when relationships seem broken? Do you echo your pain, or do you declare God's promise? Because true declaration is not repeating what you see. It is declaring what God has said, even when everything looks opposite. That's when your faith is revealed. That's when your words carry authority. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, Don't just roll out of bed and let the day dictate itself. Stand up, open your mouth, and decree with conviction. This is my day of God's favor. No weapon formed against me will prosper. I am blessed. I am covered. I am walking in divine purpose. Say it until your spirit believes it. Say it until your mind accepts it. Say it until your environment bows to it. And once you learn to declare your day, you will discover something even greater, positioned for increase, living every day as God's gift. Do you realize that where you are right now is not random? The place you woke up this morning, the opportunities you see, even the challenges you are facing, none of them are accidents. They are part of a divine setup. You are positioned not by luck, not by coincidence, but by design. And that positioning carries with it the potential for increase. Every day you live is a gift, not a burden, not a curse, but a gift. The problem is, many people never see it that way. They treat the day as something to survive instead of something to maximize. But hear me, if God allowed you to see the light of a new morning, then heaven has already deposited increase somewhere in it for you. The question is, will you see it? Will you recognize it? Or will you walk past it, blinded by distraction and worry? Think carefully. Increase doesn't always come in the form of money. Sometimes it comes in wisdom. Sometimes it comes in connections. Sometimes it comes in opportunities hidden behind what looks like opposition. But those who are positioned correctly, those who wake up and recognize the day as a gift, will seize what others miss. And once you seize it, that gift multiplies. That's the nature of increase. But here's what you must understand. Positioning requires perspective. If you wake up complaining, you lose sight of the blessing. If you wake up comparing, you miss your portion. If you wake up careless, you squander the moment. But if you wake up with gratitude, if you wake up with expectancy, if you wake up declaring, "This is my gift from God," suddenly the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Suddenly, what others overlook becomes your doorway to increase. You see, favor doesn't find you when you are lazy, when you are distracted, or when you are negative. Favor finds you when you are aligned, when your heart, your words, and your posture are positioned to receive. That's why every morning matters. That's why you cannot treat today as common, because your today holds the seed for your tomorrow, and how you handle it determines whether you multiply or remain stagnant. So let me ask you, how are you treating the gift of this day? Are you unwrapping it with expectation, or are you leaving it sealed with fear? Are you walking into it with faith, or dragging yesterday's failures into it? Every day is a divine invitation, and when you recognize it as a gift, you automatically position yourself for increase. You start walking with confidence. You start making decisions with boldness. You start expecting favor instead of doubting it. And once you understand that your position is no accident, that your today is a gift loaded with increase, then you're ready for the next level, the discipline of your morning decree. Your morning decree activating the favor of God in your life. Do you know that the very first words you speak when you rise have the power to set the tone for everything that follows? A decree is not just a statement, it is a command. It is a spiritual law you release into your day. And when you decree in alignment with God's promises, the unseen begins to shift. Angels move, doors respond, favor begins to flow. That's why your morning is too important to waste on casual words. The problem is, too many people wake up careless. They roll out of bed, sigh, complain, and let yesterday dictate today. They forget that every new sunrise resets the atmosphere. They forget that every morning carries untapped favor waiting to be activated. And so they drift into the day without authority, without expectation, without a decree. But those who understand the principle know that silence is agreement with defeat. If you don't decree your victory, the day will decree your defeat. So let me ask you, What is the first thing you say when you open your eyes? Do you say, I'm tired, I don't want to face this day, nothing ever works? Or do you rise and declare, this is the day the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it? This is my day of divine favor, my day of open doors, my day of uncommon breakthroughs. Because what you decree determines what you attract. Your decree sets boundaries. It tells sickness where it cannot enter. It tells fear where it cannot live. It tells poverty where it cannot dwell. But it also invites what belongs to you. Healing, peace, joy, increase, opportunities. The moment you decree it, heaven begins to back it. The atmosphere begins to shape itself around your words. Your decree becomes the architect of your day. But here's the secret. Your decree must be consistent. It is not enough to say it once and then contradict it with doubt. The power of a decree is in its persistence. Speak it when you feel it. Speak it when you don't. Speak it when the evidence is visible. And speak it when the evidence is hidden. Because consistency creates momentum, and momentum unlocks favor. Never forget this: what you decree in the morning is like planting a seed. Throughout the day, that seed grows, and by the time the sun sets, you will begin to reap the fruit of your own words. That's why your mornings are holy ground. That's why you cannot afford to give your first words to fear, to worry, or to defeat. Give them to faith. Give them to favor. Give them to victory. So the next time you rise, stand with authority and decree what God has already promised. For when you decree it, you activate it. And once you learn to activate favor in your mornings, then you will discover how to carry it from sunrise to success. From sunrise to success, how favor follows the confident heart. Every morning, the sun rises whether you feel ready or not. It doesn't ask your permission. It doesn't wait for your mood. It simply shows up. And in the same way, favor is present in every day. The difference lies in how you approach it. Some wake up defeated, already surrendering before the day has even begun. Others rise with confidence, declaring, if God woke me up, then success has already been assigned to my steps. And it is that confidence that attracts favor. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is alignment. It is the assurance that you are walking in divine purpose. It is the unshakable belief that you are not here by accident, that heaven has invested too much in you to let you fail. And when you carry that kind of confidence into your day, opportunities recognize it. People respond to it. Even obstacles bow before it. Why? Because favor follows confidence like a shadow follows the sun. But here's the challenge. Many people confuse humility with timidity. They think being humble means shrinking, staying quiet, lowering themselves to avoid criticism. No. True humility is agreeing with God's word about you. And if God says you are chosen, you cannot walk like you are rejected. If God says you are blessed, you cannot live like you are cursed. If God says you are favored, you cannot think like you are forgotten. Confidence is simply humility in action, believing what God has already spoken. So let me ask you, how do you step into your mornings? Do you walk slowly, heavy, defeated? Or do you rise with your shoulders back, with your head lifted, with a smile that says, I know who goes before me? Because the posture of your heart shapes the path of your day. A fearful heart attracts defeat, but a confident heart attracts favor. And don't misunderstand me. Confidence is not about having all the answers. It's about knowing the one who does. It's not about controlling every detail. It's about trusting that even when things look uncertain, favor is working in the background. That's why confident people don't panic when storms come. They stand still. They smile. They speak. And soon, the very storm that was meant to destroy them becomes the wind that pushes them into greater success. Every sunrise carries a choice. You can rise small, timid, unsure, or you can rise confident, bold, unshaken. And when you choose confidence, you unlock a flow of favor that escorts you from morning to evening, from sunrise to success. That's why you cannot afford to enter a day with doubt. Doubt cripples, but confidence builds. Fear delays, but confidence accelerates. So remember, favor follows confidence. The question is, will you dare to believe it? Will you dare to rise tomorrow with a bold heart, expecting success to meet you at every turn? Because once you live with that confidence, then you will understand the power of smiling at the future. Smile at the future. Why, joy is the gateway to divine favor. Let me tell you something powerful. Your ability to look ahead with joy is not naivety, it is faith in action. When you smile at tomorrow, you are declaring that no matter what comes, victory has already been secured. Joy is not the absence of trouble. Joy is the evidence of trust. And it is that joy that opens the door for favor to flow into your life. Have you noticed how people who walk with joy seem to attract opportunities? It's not that their lives are easier. It's not that they never face pain. It's that their posture toward the future is different. While others are paralyzed by fear, they are empowered by hope. While others complain, they smile. And that smile is not weakness. It is strength. It is the bold announcement to life itself. I am expecting good things. Joy is contagious. When you carry it, people are drawn to you. Doors open for you. Even problems shrink in front of you. Why? Because joy shifts the atmosphere. Favor flows in environments of joy, not bitterness. Favor thrives in gratitude, not grumbling. When you choose to smile at the future, you give heaven permission to align your tomorrow with blessings you cannot yet see. But here's the challenge. Most people fear the future. They fear what's coming next. They live bound by worry about tomorrow's bills, tomorrow's health, tomorrow's unknowns. And in that fear, they lose the power of joy. They let the uncertainty of the future rob them of the gift of the present. Yet the truth is simple. You are not meant to fear the future. You are meant to prepare for it with joy. Because fear paralyzes, but joy multiplies. Fear drains, but joy strengthens. Fear closes doors, but joy invites favor. So let me ask you, how do you look at your tomorrow? Do you see it with dread, or do you smile at it with expectation? Do you tremble at the thought of what could go wrong, or do you rejoice in what God has already prepared to go right? The choice is yours, and that choice determines the flow of favor. Understand this. Joy is not rooted in circumstances. It is rooted in conviction. It is rooted in the knowing that your future is not in the hands of chance. It is in the hands of God. That means your tomorrow is already secured. Your path is already prepared. Your increase is already written. So when you smile at the future, you are simply agreeing with what heaven has already declared. And once you begin to live this way, once you rise each morning with a smile that points forward instead of backward, you will see doors open that others thought were shut forever. Because favor does not follow fear, it follows joy. And when you master the art of smiling at tomorrow, then you will be ready to embrace today as your own. Today is yours, owning the favor of God one morning at a time. Every sunrise is a gift, but not every person claims it. Too many people live as if the day belongs to someone else, as if favor is reserved for the strong, the rich, or the qualified. But hear me clearly, today was given to you. This very moment is your inheritance. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to wait for it. You don't have to apologize for it. You only have to own it. Owning the favor of God means waking up with the confidence that this day carries something designed specifically for you. It may be an opportunity, it may be a connection, it may be an idea that unlocks your next season. But if you walk into the morning as a spectator, you will miss what was tailored for you as an heir. You cannot live this day on autopilot. You must rise and take ownership. Think of it like a deed to land. If the papers have your name on them, but you never step on the soil, never cultivate it, never build on it, then what you own produces nothing. Favor works the same way. It belongs to you, but it only manifests when you claim it and walk in it. Ownership is active. It's a mindset, a posture, a decision to say, this is MY day. I will not hand it over to fear. I will not hand it over to negativity. I will not hand it over to defeat. But here's the danger. Many surrender their day before it even begins. They let yesterday's failure own today's opportunity. They let someone else's words dictate their expectation. They let circumstances write the script of their morning. And without realizing it, they have given away ownership of the favor assigned to them. But those who rise with boldness, those who declare, this is mine, will always walk in results others can only dream of. So let me challenge you. What would happen if you treated every single morning as a gift with your name on it? How would you act? How would you speak? How would you decide? You would stop doubting and you would start doing. You would stop waiting and you would start moving. You would stop envying others and you would begin to maximize your own portion. Because owning the favor of God one morning at a time transforms ordinary days into extraordinary seasons. And here's the beauty. When you own today, you prepare yourself for tomorrow. Success is not built in a year, it's built in a day. Victory is not claimed in a lifetime, it's claimed one morning at a time. And when you wake up daily with the mindset of ownership, favor doesn't just visit you, it follows you. So rise tomorrow and declare with confidence, this is my day, this is my favor, this is my moment. For once you learn to own today, then you will discover the divine advantage waiting for you at every step. The divine advantage waking up with heaven on your side. Do you understand what it means to live each day with an advantage that no one can compete with? It means you are not starting from behind. You are not struggling to catch up. You are not running a race that is rigged against you. You wake up already ahead, already covered, already favored. That is the divine advantage. It is the assurance that God's hand is upon your life, guiding you, protecting you, positioning you in places you could never reach by yourself. You see, the world teaches competition. It tells you that success belongs to the strongest, the fastest, the most educated, the most connected. But when you walk in divine favor, you step into a different economy. You don't rise because of who you know. You rise because of who knows you. And heaven knows your name. That is why doors open that you never knocked on. Why resources show up you never asked for. Why opportunities chase you when others are still searching. That is not coincidence. That is divine advantage. But here's what makes it so powerful. It is not earned, it is bestowed. You don't work for favor, you walk in it. You don't qualify yourself, God qualifies you. And once you grasp that truth, you stop striving like the world strives. You stop comparing your journey with others. You stop living in fear of being left behind. Because you know, if heaven is on your side, you cannot be denied. Let me ask you this. When you wake up, do you live like you have the divine advantage? Or do you live like the disadvantaged? Do you step into the day with your head low, afraid of what may come? Or do you rise with your shoulders back, declaring, if God is for me, who can be against me? That declaration alone shifts your posture. It changes the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act. And favor responds to that confidence. Never forget, favor is not fair. It will place you in rooms you never qualified for. It will make people notice you when others are overlooked. It will cause resources to be released in your direction while others are still waiting. That is the power of waking up with heaven on your side. You don't fight with the same weapons as the world. You don't negotiate from the same position. You carry a divine advantage that nothing and no one can cancel. And yet, the tragedy is that many never use it. They walk through life as if they are powerless, as if everything depends on human effort, as if God has not already gone ahead of them. But the truth is, When you align with his favor, your steps are ordered, your battles are fought. Your victory is certain. So tomorrow when you rise, remember this: you are not starting from behind. You are starting with a divine advantage. And once you understand that, you will begin to see why your day of favor must be claimed, not delayed. Your day of favor aligning your words with God's promise. Every single morning carries within it a choice. Will you let your feelings dictate your confession, or will you allow God's promise to shape your declaration? Words are not casual. Words are not empty. Words are seeds. Every sentence you release into the atmosphere takes root somewhere, and it will eventually bear fruit. That's why you cannot afford to speak carelessly about your life, your family, your future. The moment you open your mouth, you are either aligning yourself with defeat or with favor. Think of it like this: the world around you is shaped by what you consistently say. If you keep speaking lack, lack will keep knocking at your door. If you keep confessing sickness, sickness will keep looking for you. If you keep talking about failure, you are opening a pathway for failure to follow. But when you wake up and align your words with God's promise, everything changes. You are not just talking, you are creating. You are not just repeating, you are releasing. You are writing your day with the pen of your tongue. And what does God's promise say about you? It says you are blessed and not cursed. It says you are the head and not the tail. It says no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It says goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. So if heaven's promises are already written, why would you speak anything else? Why would you agree with fear when faith has already declared your victory? Why would you echo defeat when favor is waiting for your agreement? The truth is, life bends to the sound of your conviction. The more you speak his word, the more you shape your world. The more you declare his promises, the more you accelerate your progress. The key is alignment, aligning your mouth with what God has already spoken. Because your tongue is a weapon. It can bind or it can release. It can imprison or it can unlock. And when it is aligned with divine promises, it becomes unstoppable. So I ask you, what will you say over your life today? What words will you allow to frame your future? What declarations will you let set the tone for your family, your health, your destiny? Do not waste another morning with careless words. Do not waste another sunrise speaking doubt and fear. This is your day of favor. Declare it, believe it, align with it, and watch heaven confirm it. And so I leave you with this: wake up every morning knowing that your words carry power. Speak with faith, and the atmosphere will shift. Declare victory, and battles will bow. Proclaim favor, and doors will open. Smile at your tomorrow, and it will smile back at you. Own each day as the gift it is. Live as though you already have the advantage. And never forget, when your words align with God's promises, your life aligns with his favor.